All right, so we got these suckers taped up where they're gonna go. Everything's fitting pretty nicely. You can see those are kind of sitting right on their plates. We got this other side done. This was a bit tougher to do, but they're all in there. We transferred our marks from one side to the other to line them up, and looking good. So we're about to pull the seat back out and mark them and drill holes. All right, so we're about to knock off for the night, but here's where we're at. So we got our brackets. We drilled all of our holes, you know, got those looking good. We threw a spacer in here, which we were planning to do all along, because it's hard to catch on camera, but this seat is not perfectly vertical. It angles inward like this, and what happens is the brackets, since they're angled in, the seat, you know, you can just kind of tell that if you did it that way, you wouldn't be able to lift the seat out once you welded the brackets in, or at least you'd have to like bend it and scratch it up. So throwing a spacer in there, that spacer will be removable and solves that problem. Also solves another problem for the bolts, but anyway, we did that. Here's what it looks like on that side, and you can see over here. And these are like little buttons. They're down towards the bottom, so not going to be in the way too much. And looks pretty beefy. I'm kind of happy with how that's going so far. These plates over here are resting nicely. The ones on that side need a tiny bit of adjustment, but that's not a big deal. We'll do that. Over here, tack welding these to the plates, I've got enough access that I can definitely reach in there with a MIG welder and tack those. On this side, I can't get a MIG welder on any of these. There is just no room. Maybe that back one, if you got lucky, you might be able to tack it, but these two are hopeless. So we got to come up with a plan for that. I guess we're just gonna have to mark them or something and try to guess, essentially kind of like mark where they go. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. We'll probably put a mark somehow and then tack weld them on the edges. Yeah, I think I just figured this out. Tack weld them, take it all apart, or whatever, mark it, take it apart, tack it, put it together, and then reach in there with like a pry bar and bend it until it's in the right spot. And when it's in the right spot and it all lines up and you can still bolt the seat together or stuff, carefully take it apart, go in there and weld them out that way. I think that's what we'll have to do. But that's not too bad. And once they're tacked, and you know, basically once they're tacked and you can set it in there and it looks good, we can take the seat out, take the seat out, and then these plates are not actually welded to the floor. So we can just untape them, take this on a bench, weld the tabs to the plates outside of the car, then drop the assembly in the car, make sure it all looks good, and then of course the plates can get welded to the car. But yeah, this is looking as good as I hoped. Here's like an inside view where you can see all the bolts retaining the bottom of the seat. So that's looking nice. I'm happy with how that's going. So anyway, it's kind of late. We're about to knock off, grab some dinner, get some rest, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow. So until next time, y'all take it easy. Let's see if this works. Sort of. Yeah, so these right here I could actually reach with a Sharpie, sort of. It's the ones on the other side that are going to be tough. This is kind of working. Curious case will be on the other side, which we're about to try. So those are marked. Now let's do the hard mode. So that is the one I was talking about. Oh, we got one mark there. Let's see. That's a lot tougher. We got something. Now let's try catch these middle ones. we go. They're marked up. That was a pain. Couldn't get them perfect, but they're marked. I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pull this out of the car and tack weld all of them, just like it sits, and then sit it back in the car and see if that looks okay. I think I'm gonna do that. I don't know. Probably would be better to tack it in the car. I can tack this side, but there's basically no way over here. So, and they're basically sitting flat on the plate or damn close. So we're just gonna do that out of the car and hope it works out. We'll just barely tack it so we can cut it and adjust if we need to. Okay, so we got this all marked up and lined up on the table, and we're about to start over. So no problems here except for one thing. We forgot to ground these plates, and I just marked them exactly where they need to go. I even got the other side. I'll show you that. So we're lined up pretty good. This is pretty much how it was in the car. If we look at the top view, pretty close. Looks like we did ground this side some. Oh, we might be able to tack this one. Yeah, this side, ironically, is actually ground back, but the other side's not. So, yeah, we got to do that. We're not going to do halfway welds. We did all this work to make it safe, so we're going to think about this. It looks like we might be able to tack this side, so maybe we'll tack this side, but the other side, we definitely got to pull that apart and redo it all. So we'll do that, then we'll get her welded. Okay, so we redid all this, put it back and ground it all back, put it in the car, remarked it. I kind of like it that we did it this way because the other side's tacked, so I got to test fit that, which was the hard part. This side's easier to adjust, easier to mark, easier to see. So that accident kind of worked out. But we got it back up here. We got our TIG torch. We're about to tack these up and then pop it back in the car, make sure it looks good, and if it does, we'll weld our tabs to the plates. Alright, check this out. So we got our tabs just tack welded in place, which gave us these two plates on the bottom. Check this out. So this is where it's going to go. There it goes. Bit of a tight fit. But there she is, seat on a custom bracket that bolts to the floor, and it is 1/4 inch off the floor. So, badass. I think we're going to test our lap belts real quick, make sure they can slide under there. And we checked that square, we're good on that, which, I mean, you know, just double checking, kind of knew we were okay. This spot's looking nice. We're in front of the hoop, but just barely. And we're also below the hoop by a little bit. So, looking good. Man, good to see this. It's looking nice. We're going to get this, test those lap belts, and then we're going to pop this back out. We're going to do some more tacks on those brackets, and then we're going to unbolt the seat and just weld them out completely. Okay, so we just checked. Lap belts are looking good. Those slide under the seat with no issues. We got plenty of room to move these around, as you can see. So, no problems there. So, good stuff. We shall move forward. Alright, so we got these welded up, both of them, and they turned out pretty nice. So you can see our welds. We got this basically 100% weld all the way around, and I like it. These should be real solid. I don't have to worry about these breaking, at least not these welds. So good stuff. Just gonna, we got our bolts, we got our washers. About to reassemble. I guess I will mention this. So essentially, once we took these out of the car, we put a few tacks, and we just kind of worked our way around. Like, say we had a tack on the ends, so we did like one over here, one over there, one over here, one over there, and I did that until I had about 6 tacks. So the 2 on the edges, and then 6 on the sides. And I did that, so I would do like here and here, or say like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Go to this side, 1, 1, 1, and kind of went in a circle like that until I had 8 total, and then at that point I just welded them out all the way. And our hope is that we had enough tack welds on it that the heat distortion will be low enough that it won't matter. And I don't think it'll be an issue. I thought about it and I was like, positionally I don't think these are going to move. If anything, they're going to like move like this. But they're bolting to a piece of aluminum, so I kind of doubt they would have A, that it would have moved much, B, that it would matter. And we already have spacers and bolts and, you know, just kind of a gut feeling that it's going to be okay. So we went ahead and welded those out. So anyway, happy with how they turned out. We're going to bolt her up, throw it back in the car, make sure it fits.